Hello again. It's been 100 days since I started two different GLP-1s. No, I did not do them both at the same time. Let's talk about how that's gone. I've lost 61 pounds over the 100 days. It's actually 101 days today. I took my first shot of compounded semaglutide on January 22nd, and I continued that up until 3 weeks ago when I switched to Zepbound vials, tirzepatide, and that's what I've been on for the past 3 weeks. And I have one more week before I go up my first time on Zepbound. I've had people ask why I switched because I lost over 55 pounds on semaglutide. And it was working well for me. The problem is, if you're on a GLP-1, or maybe if you know someone on one, there have been a lot of uncertainties recently after the FDA declared that semaglutide was no longer in a shortage. They already declared that tirzepatide, which is the active ingredient in Zepbound and Mounjaro, had gone out of a shortage. Both were added to the FDA's shortage list during COVID. There were shortages on a lot of things during that time. If you combine that with the increase in demand, it put it into a shortage. There were people taking it for diabetes, which is what it was originally approved for, that weren't able to get it. Those people should have been first in line, but I think it's also essential now for people who are trying to lose weight, or people who are obese or overweight. Which is why at first they were prescribed as off-label, because they realized a side effect of Ozempic for people who were taking it for diabetes was that they were losing weight. So that's how we also got the drug Wegovy, which is the same exact ingredient in Ozempic, which is semaglutide, which is what I started on. When there's a shortage, the FDA allows pharmacies to compound, which essentially means make their own version to meet demand because of the shortages from the companies producing the original name brand versions. The cost of these medications is sky high. Even if your insurance pays for it, some people may still pay a very high price. I know my insurance doesn't cover it, so I've paid out of pocket. That's why I waited until January of this year to start it, because I didn't know how I was going to pay for it. But I decided to make that investment on myself. I needed to. The reason that Ozempic, you started hearing so much more about it in the past few years, is because compounding pharmacies, including all of the telehealth companies, were able to compound because the medication was on the FDA's shortage list. However, now the FDA has declared that semaglutide is no longer in a shortage, and the companies who make the name brands of those medications are suing a lot of these compounding pharmacies and online telehealth companies. They want their customers to pay for the name brand, which a lot of people can't. If they don't lower the price, people aren't going to buy their version. They're not just magically going to be able to afford it. The compounded versions were much cheaper. When I say much cheaper, I really mean it, because the name brand, if you want Ozempic in the pen, or Mounjaro, or Wegovy, or Zepbound, it's going to cost you over $1,000 a month in the US. In my opinion, the big companies are going to win, and the little companies and the people who are low or medium income will suffer. I read the tea leaves and I thought, I'm going to have to stop taking them, or I'm going to have to switch to a name brand. So the company that I get my Zepbound vials from, which is Ro.co, I also got my compound vials from them. But I stayed with Ro because Ro also offers vials of Zepbound. The vials are much cheaper than the pens. The pens come pre-dosed. If you don't know what I'm talking about, all you have to do is take the cap off, twist a little dial, inject it, and throw it away. When you're on the compounded semaglutide like I was, you have a little vial. If you've ever seen anyone inject insulin, you have to put the needle in, draw out the correct dose, and inject it into either your stomach, thigh, or arm. In the Zepbound vials, they're the same way. So instead of the name brand that comes in the pen, I still have to draw it out of the vial, except the Zepbound vials are individual vials. When I was on the compounded semaglutide, it was one vial for the whole month. So you kept drawing out of the same bottle, but on this, you just use the bottle once and dispose of it. And the needle. Now let's talk about side effects. I've been lucky in that department. Now if my family's watching this, they will say, I thought you had nausea really bad and constipation. The nausea has been bad at times, but ondansetron, that's the prescription nausea medicine, or the liquid nausea medication that you can find at any drugstore, works just fine. The thing that I had the most trouble with was maybe around week 4 or 5. I had constipation pretty badly. I'd never taken a laxative before until I did that. I kind of just had to wait it out. So as far as side effects, nothing was ever horrible. One more side effect, I'll just talk about it briefly. I talked about it more in depth in my last video. I broke my back at the end of 2023. I didn't have to have surgery, but it's still something that bothers me. Since I've lost weight, it's bothered me even more. I was quite shocked by that because I thought as I lose weight, my back is going to hurt less because I have less weight I'm carrying around. But I think as my body starts to change and the distribution of fat on my body is shifting and I'm losing weight in some areas and not others, it's affecting my posture and the curvature of my spine and my center of gravity. So I think my back is still getting used to it. I gained weight after I broke my back, so I'm sure my back didn't reset to factory settings. Side effects, to me, have been minimal. You have to really watch what you eat and drink. You have to make sure you're getting in enough protein. This is my water bottle. It's bigger than my head, and my head is big. It's 1.9 liters of water, and I've been drinking 2 to 2.5 of these a day. I think that can mitigate side effects. If you've eaten anything and you've noticed it doesn't sit well with you, like for me, pasta and pork, both are huge no-nos. The pasta, because it makes me constipated. The pork, because it gives me sulfur burps, which are these disgusting burps that you get that are just the worst. And I'm not a doctor, this isn't medical advice. This is me just sharing my experience with you in case you've had any experiences like I'm talking about in the past or you're having it right now. You know that I made it through it and you're going to be fine too. That is completely normal. If something concerns you that much that you think it's not normal, speak to your provider or doctor or speak to a medical professional. Not a lovely person on YouTube like me. The GLP-1, I don't see it as a miracle drug because it's not. If you don't make other changes, you're not going to have success. That's why you can find plenty of people talking about how it's not working for them and they've not made other necessary changes. It is a tool in my toolbox to help control weight better than doing it on my own. I would say food is something I use as a comfort or just something to do when I'm bored. If you've never had an addiction to food, you have no idea what it's like. If you have an addiction to food, you're never going to be able to get away from food. You can't just not keep food in the house. You can't just go places with friends who don't eat food. Food is a constant in your life. You have to have it to survive. I think I have a unique experience because I was on the semaglutide and now I'm on tirzepatide. A lot of people are on one or the other. I had enough experience on semaglutide to be able to talk about it, and I'm still gaining that experience on tirzepatide. If you want to learn more about the differences I noticed between semaglutide and tirzepatide, give me a follow, and keep up with the videos. These are for informational purposes. I always over-research everything before I make a purchase, or if a doctor tells me a medication, even if I have already picked it up from the pharmacy, I do research before I even take it the first time. I'm not doing it because I'm a medical professional. I'm doing it because I want to understand more about what's going on. I want to know, how does this medication work? I want to know, is this thing right for me? I'm doing these videos because I'm documenting the change in myself every week, every time I do one of these videos. And it's important for me to go back and look and remind myself, this is where I started, this is where I came from. And in the future, there's videos where I'll be able to say, that's me, that's what I've done. And I'm just working towards that goal. The name of this channel is Chasing Better Days, and it's like the perfect mantra for me. Not just because my name is Chase. I asked people what they thought of Chasing Better Days, and someone said they thought maybe it was too ambitious. It's like striving for perfection instead of just enjoying life and living in the moment. But that's not what it means to me at all. To me, it means I've made it through a bad day. I've made it through worse days in the past, and there's always going to be a better day ahead. It's important to realize that, because when you're in those down moments, like I was earlier today, you realize that it's not going to last forever. Every storm will pass. As cliche as that sounds, every storm will pass. It's statistically impossible that there's not going to be a better day for you in the future unless the world ends tomorrow. There's going to be a better day ahead. If you let yourself live the life that you want to live, the life that you dream of, if you stop being your own worst enemy, your inner saboteur, your own roadblock, then I promise you, you will have better days ahead. You just have to allow yourself to. And that's something that can be tricky. And that's something that I've been doing in conjunction with losing weight. I have really changed my perspective and outlook. I'll say this in every video, and I'll keep saying it. The biggest change I've noticed is that I stopped caring what other people think. I just don't care what anyone else has to say. Of course, I want to know what people think, like family and friends, but I'm not going to be discouraged, and I'm not going to stop myself from doing something or pursuing something that I want just because I'm thinking, well, what if people don't like this, or what if people don't like me, or this or that. It doesn't matter. I'm my own person. Take it or leave it. If you like me, I like you. If you don't like me, okay, move along. There's like 7 billion other people you can talk to. You don't have to listen to me or talk to me if you don't like me. You can click off of this video right now. It's perfectly fine. There's no hard feelings. Not everyone jives, and that's fine. The only thing I have a problem with is when you start being mean to other people. If you have a habit of being mean to other people, I want you to ask yourself one question. What are you getting out of it? What are you getting out of talking about that person in such a negative way? What are you getting out of being so judgmental or casting such judgment on someone else? What is that doing for you? Is it adding to your life? Is it adding any kind of value to you? Is it helping you chase your better days? Is it helping you get to that better day that you want, or the life that you want to live? I think you'll find the answer is no, it's not. It's a distraction, and your brain, society, inner and outer saboteurs will try to trap you in that cycle of doom, worrying about what other people think and what other people are doing, and not focusing on your own life. Focus on your life. For anyone who's watching this who feels like they can't change or needs to make a change, or you know someone in your life who may need to change, share this video with them. I have been in their shoes. I've been in your shoes. I'm still in those shoes. I am changing every day. And when I say there's better days ahead, there are also bad days ahead. I'm realistic, but I know that if tomorrow's a bad day, the day after that may be a good day. It may be another bad one. I may have a string of bad days, but there's always going to be a better day ahead. If you break free of living your life for other people, and as long as you take one step towards the life that you want, you're going to have a better day. Even if all the circumstances surrounding your life are suboptimal and terrible and feel unfair, those things will try to keep you down. Those things will try to tell you that you aren't worth anything better. You are supposed to feel this way. This is because you deserve it. That's not true at all. If anyone says anything rude to me anymore, it flies off of my shoulder. I could not care any less. It doesn't matter. Just as saying that thing to me doesn't add any value to their life, it adds nothing to my life either. So it goes in one ear, out the other. And I just say, have the day you deserve. Because some people, the actions that they take, they deserve to not have a better day. I hold hope that everyone has the ability to be the kind of person who deserves a better day ahead. I've talked a lot about mental health now. People who are tuning in just to watch about GLP-1 content are not going to be interested in this. But the thing is, it's all happening in my life at the same time, and I wouldn't be honest if I didn't talk about this as well. Life has been full of struggles, ups and downs, like anyone else. I'm not saying I had it worse than anyone, and I'm not saying I had it better than anyone. Although I have had it better than many people. The other things are just learning lessons, and it's taken me to this point in my life, 29 years old. I turned 30 on July 1st of this year, 2025, and I'm at a completely different starting point. When I start my 30s, I feel like there's endless possibilities ahead. The same feeling I felt before I went to college of anything is possible. I'm feeling that again, and this time it's even more possible because I'm grown. I'm not a child. I'm not a teenager. I'm not a 21-year-old anymore. My brain is fully developed. One of the things I said in my live stream last night was that I was happy, I was hopeful, and I was feeling great. I wanted to share that, and I wanted that to be infectious. I wanted you to see the feeling that you can have too. I want it to be infectious because I want you to feel the same way I did, the same way I feel right now. Just talking to you in this video and telling you about all of the things that I've done over this year, 2025. It's astonishing to me. Who is this person? I feel like the old parts of me are still here, but it's just like a rebirth. It is really like I'm finally on the road to greater things. I had this ability the whole time. Everyone has this ability. You just have to get out of your own way. As cliche as that sounds, it's true. One person who I think has really helped me, especially as far as confidence, and he's younger than me, is Leo Skeppy. If you haven't heard of him before, go search for him on YouTube. He has videos and a podcast, TikTok. Leo Skeppy. Go find him. He's hilarious. His life advice is raw and honest, and it slaps you in the face when it needs to. I want this to be the same way. I don't want to be like him. I just want to help people in that way. I'm in a much more positive place than I have been in the past few years. I'm looking forward to entering a new decade of life with a fresh set of eyes and a new perspective and more confidence not only in myself but in my ability to get the things done that I want to get done. If you notice this canvas with the logo of my channel, my best friend Maria got that for me. It's such a nice touch to add to the background. The lemon tree I talked about in my last videos, my mom got that for me and it looks great. I think I've discovered that yellow is one of my favorite colors. It just gives a positive vibe, you know? Anyway, I'm gonna wrap this up. If you have any questions about a GLP-1 or some of the other things I've done during my weight loss journey, leave a comment below. Tell me what you want to know about so I can talk about it in the next video. You may have a question that I never thought about, but I have an answer to because I went through it. I may have thought that was something unremarkable, but it could be something you really want to know about. So you just have to ask me. I read all of the comments. There's not that many. I read them and I care about the things I'm putting out there. I want to have a dialogue with you. Even though I don't know a lot of you, I want to have a dialogue. I want you to be able to tell me how you're progressing on your journey. I want to inspire you to document your own journey, make your own videos, or at least write it down in a journal so you can look back and see the progress that you have made. Because I promise you, you're going to be proud if you keep at it. Taking the first step is the hardest thing. You just have to do that and have more faith in yourself. Manifest it, put it out into the universe, will it into being. Take that first step and everything's going to be okay. Ask me anything, even if you're just curious about something that I've done on this journey. If you're not on one yourself, then ask me anything. I'm not a therapist, I'm not a doctor, but I'm a person. I really loved journalism because I was able to express myself in ways with writing that I've never been able to express verbally. Even like writing text messages and posts on Facebook, I'm able to put things down on paper or type things out in a document on a computer screen or on my phone. I'm able to think more. I feel more free to say the things that I'm thinking. But now I've gotten more confident. I'm more sure of myself and my voice and what I want to say. I'm not hiding myself from the world. I'm here, I'm myself, and that's enough. I've finally gotten my voice and I'm able to articulate things better now and say things that I want to say or things that I've been thinking. I'm not as shy or embarrassed about certain topics. I can talk about anything. Life is life. You shouldn't be embarrassed about anything. If you have a question and it's important to you, ask it. Ask it to a stranger. Ask it to me. If you don't feel comfortable asking someone in your life, I want to be there for you. I want these videos to inspire you, to make you feel good about yourself. I don't ever want them to come across as me bragging. I talked about I lost 61 pounds in 100 days. That's great. I'm more proud of the mental health changes that I've made, and it's allowing me to appreciate the weight loss more. I am proud of myself. I'm not bragging. I just want you to know that you can do it too. You're fully capable of doing it. You have to take that first step and believe in yourself, and I promise you things are going to get better. Reality is going to become closer to the things that you dream about. So, I'll end this video like I've ended all of the other ones. Never stop chasing better days. Bye.